Lowe's, every purchase, every day, use the Lowe's Business Credit Account. 5% all purchases, in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Great to have you in top of the hour where Colin was right and where Colin was wrong. Listen, sometimes one word is all you need, and I'll give you an example. If you're going to marry somebody, you're a man or a woman, there are certain words you'd stay away from. If you knew the one thing he was is selfish, be very careful. If you knew the one thing she was dishonest, good luck with that. If you knew he was mean, he had a mean streak, I wouldn't want to spend 50 years with that. But let's say the word is party. She was a little bit of a partier. 17 to 27, we change. You have kids, you grow up, more responsibilities at work. I can live with that word. He's a partier. She's a partier. Mean, disloyal, unethical. Like a word can tell you a lot. With all of the quarterback red flags, there's a word that describes all of them. There's a word that describes all of their issues. Darnold, turnovers. Josh Rosen, durability. Baker Mayfield, judgment. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, accuracy. Here's the thing. I can coach my way out of turnovers. Deshaun Watson threw a lot of picks in college. He didn't as a rookie in the NFL. Jameis Winston threw a ton of picks his last year at college. He only had 11 last year in the NFL. They both were coached out of turnovers. By the way, Marcus Mariota almost never had turnovers at Oregon. 4 his junior year, 4 his senior year. He had 4 in one game last year for the Titans. He's a turnover machine in the NFL. Durability is the knock on Rosen. There's a rule, folks. Hurt in college, hurt more often in pro sports. You can't coach your way out of durability. Baker Mayfield's judgment, find a guy who's immature at 22. He's immature at 32. And accuracy, find me the one college quarterback who was inaccurate, under 60% in college, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. And then in the NFL, suddenly hit those tinier, smaller windows. You can't find one. Turnovers, Sam Darnold had 7 interceptions in his last 11 college games, and that was when the schedule was the toughest. I'm okay with that. Not even 1 a game. Deshaun Watson averaged 1 a game in college. Jameis Winston had more than 1 a game in college. I can coach out of turnovers. There's nothing I can do about durability, judgment, and accuracy. First things first this morning, Sam Darnold showed up. He talked about the process of getting ready for the NFL draft and interviewing teams.
It's a little bit like recruiting. I mean, you go in and, everyone expects you to be the starter right away, or at least that's what people tell you. And then you go in and you're humbled right away. You're in there with a bunch of older dudes who have been there for, 3 or 4 years, and you go in there expecting to play right away, and that's not the case for me, especially, redshirting and being under Cody Kessler was really awesome. Yeah. And then getting that opportunity that I had that next year to start and, play well. I think this whole process is just about taking advantage of every opportunity that comes my way. But I think I'm a very natural leader. And I also think that I like to give people hope in the locker room, whether it's how I play or the way that I act off the field, on and off the field. I think there's just something about me that's a little bit different.
I think he is the obvious number 1 pick. I think you are reaching. If he's not the number 1 pick, Sam Darnold number 1. Let me say this, though. Let me talk for a second about a very interesting player. Lamar Jackson, so much of life is about fit, right? I've worked at companies where I didn't fit and I left, and I've worked at companies like here at Fox, I feel I'm a perfect fit for my style. Okay, fit's important. If Lamar Jackson, because the rumors now are New England has interviewed, as Jenny told us, has interviewed Lamar Jackson. Now, you'd think to yourself, well, come on. I mean, Lamar runs around a lot. He does. And New England really does the pocket quarterback thing well. But here's the interesting thing. Lamar Jackson, if you draft him and you just sat him for 2 years, the one thing he does well throwing the football is sort of like 15 yards and in. That is mostly New England's offense. Bubble screens, get the ball out, 3-step drops. Lamar's good at that. If you gave him 2 years watching Brady, learning the system, sitting back, Lamar's pretty interesting prospect. He does have accuracy issues, and considering his college coach was Bobby Petrino, who is by far and away, of all these quarterbacks coming into the NFL, the best offensive coach was Bobby Petrino. And Lamar completed 56% of his throws with Bobby Petrino. There's no question that's a legitimate red flag. Okay, Josh Rosen had a defensive coach. Baker Mayfield's coach was a coordinator until this year. Josh Allen's coach is not as good as Bobby Petrino, nor is USC's. It's a worry. But Lamar's an interesting player. If he could come in, sit back, watch with the best coach, Josh McDaniels, I could see where Lamar Jackson, given time, no rush, late first round, early second, could work in this league. Good stuff. So we have a lot every Monday during the NFL season, and, sometimes out of it, we do what we call Colin was right, Colin was wrong, where I take my thoughts, my strongest opinions over last week, and I give you, kind of my feeling on how they landed. That is coming up next. Plus, we just don't understand. I mean, we really, really don't understand what LeBron is dealing with right now in Cleveland. And you got to go back 10 years, and even then, I'm not sure he's dealing with what he is now. Hour 2 next in L.A., it's The Herd.
June 13th.
Oh, there's a mouse in here.
The clock starts ticking.
I got